the mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you better.
That's right.
Woo! This Christmas, and as we trim the tree, how much fun it's gonna be together. This Christmas,
Fireside is blazing bright. We're caroling through the night.
and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Yeah.
Okay, we got to do this part right. Shake your hand, shake your hand. Go for it. Oh, sing it now. All right.
Come on. This Christmas. Fireside is blazing bright.
Just showing off. Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe.
I pray we'll find your light
I pray we'll find your light
and hold it in our heart.
and hold it in our heart.
When stars go out each night,
Stars go out each night.
remind us where you are.
Remind us where you are.
Let this guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be safe. Please to find a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be
Osei, thank you so much. Give another hand for that. Thank you all for having us. Just a great opportunity and privilege to be here, to be able to just share in this special time with you, but also to be able to just share a little bit about Salvation Army and who we are, particularly this time of need. Well, just as that song points out, the joy is intensified, isn't it? The happy things, but also the suffering around us sometimes gets intensified, particularly for those in it. So thankful that we can share a little bit. I think you recognize this. And that sound, right? Now, this, in fact, I think I told you last year that song we sang earlier, Silver Bells, this one's not silver, but really is about Salvation Army. On every street corner you hear, right? Now, I'm going to ask you a question, and simply because they know what it means. They are working. Our corps officers who are in charge of the 7 centers here in San Diego are non-stop from middle of November through December, getting ready with all the toys and food, putting out anywhere from 10 to 40 of these kettle workers and extra payroll. So trust me, when they hear that, there's a little cringe there. And yet, they wouldn't give it up for anything, for they know what it means. See, the bell has become, as a kettle as well, a symbol. It's a symbol, first of all, that there is a need out there. That as blessed as we are, particularly here in San Diego, there are people who are in need. You know that 1 in 5 children in San Diego County live below the poverty line. And so that's a reminder of that need. But it's also a reminder that you can be part of the solution. That just a little bit helps. And so it's about giving life a chance to realize that we can be part of that. We're a community together to help one another. But I was one of those young corps officers who dreaded when November came around and the bells started because of what it meant, and driving kettle workers and all those kinds of things. But I also had a couple questions on my mind as I thought, wait a minute, we're giving out toys. Like, what good is that? In the grand scheme of things, a few toys to kids. And I literally began to question that because I was asking myself, is this the right way to do things? Is there a better way to raise funds more effectively? Is there a better way to help these people? And so I started questioning. Now what I didn't realize, because it was years ago, that I was asking myself, are we doing the most good? And as you know, that's another icon, another brand Salvation Army came with, but it's more than a brand. Doing the most good, at least for me personally, and I think for the other fellow officers and soldiers, that it is a challenge to really ask yourself that question. For me, I started to say, okay, are we really not just doing good? Sure, we're doing good. Some 5,500 families will be coming through our doors in the next week or so. So 19,000 children will receive toys. We've got great. See, for me, it meant something specific. It meant that I really had to ask, we as a Salvation Army need to ask, in other words, are we really making a difference in people's lives? Are we helping people to actually change, to transform, to be a different person, to make a difference in their life? And this question, are we really helping them? Because there's an addiction problem, but we have a chance at that point to engage them in life-changing activities and programs throughout that. And I think of it particularly as I think back in my question as a young Corps officer. I think about those toys. Well, last year, a particular family story came to really bring it full circle for me. Yes, maybe just be a $10, $20 toy for a kid. But there was a grandmother who was taking care of 5 of her grandkids. The parents were not in the picture. She was struggling just to get by, much less provide for Christmas. And she was wondering, what am I going to do to help these kids at Christmas time? And so she heard about Salvation Army, heard that she could come, sign up, and get toys for those kids, and she did. But when they came to the Salvation Army facility, she also found out about the programs, that we have character building troop programs for the kids. We've got music instructions for the kids. We have all sorts of things, daycare and after-school programs for the kids. And those kids, those grandkids, actually started getting connected to Salvation Army, ended up going a week at our camp up in Big Bear Pine Summit, which is a life-changing experience in and of itself. And now they're part of the Salvation Army Church Corps family. I know that continuum continues because we have programs for teenagers and young adults and training and leadership training programs, and that those kids have a chance to really be different, to have a kind of character that can make a difference in our community. And it did start with a toy. It started because somebody like you cared enough to take an angel tree or go by and to donate a Christmas gift. But that connected the Salvation Army, the officers who 365 days a year are there ministering, caring for people, looking for that. So we help them. Now, again, I have to keep asking that question, is it the most good? And I look at those programs and I have to answer that question, what can we do to help them forever? Salvation Army offers our programs and services without discrimination to all who come to our doors. But we are a Christian-based organization. We do believe that the spiritual difference in their lives can make a difference. In fact, the transformation we see in those that come through our Adult Rehabilitation Center, some of them literally, you may have walked around on cardboard boxes across the street, have come, and because not only the program, the work therapy program, but because they've had a relationship, learn what God can do to transform their life. Some of them are fellow officers with us, some of them are working in the Salvation Army. We feel good about. But it's because we celebrate this time of year that great gift that God gave to us of His love through what we believe is His Son. We believe that God loves every single person, and so we just want to be part of that solution. We're thankful also for partners like Kiwanis, like all of you in the community, who also hear that bell and think of the good stuff and know that in fact it means that you can be part of that solution. Your club has been incredible support. We had our first kickoff, annual kettle kickoff program, and you were a big part of that. And the check for $3,000 is very much appreciated, the support you gave to that program, and that you do all year long. So we just wanted to thank you and share with you just that we're here, and we're grateful to be part of this community. Thank you for your support. May God bless you.
And, I I've sponsored men out of Salvation Army in recovery, and you know, those guys that come out, they come out with such a fundamental, you know, spiritual foundation to move themselves and transform and keep themselves moving forward. So you are doing the most good from my perspective.